How you guys doing tonight? The night before the big day, National Signing Day. Let me get a couple of things lined up here. Baby Shaq, I saw you mention you were the first one to like the video. I appreciate that, my man. Always showing me some love. How you guys doing? We got Miami Hurricanes time in the chat tonight. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, definitely go check it out. I think he was just streaming a few minutes ago. Tonight, the night before National Signing Day, I know it's a little early, but we're breaking out the fine china tonight. Hope it's okay with you guys. Cheers to my Canes family. So what's going on, y'all? What's going on? That's pretty smooth. I just spilled it all over myself. Oh, yeah, we're dropping frames a little bit. Hold up. I'm going to give it a second and see if it works itself out. Okay. It's working its way back up. Here we go. There we go. Okay, we'll see if we can keep a solid connection. We'll see if we can keep a solid connection tonight. Internet's been kind of spotty today. So what happens when you live in the middle of nowhere? It's the price you gotta pay. Yeah, it's not keeping a good connection. I'll give it a few minutes. We'll chill for a second. I don't want to get too deep in it if we're gonna have a spotty connection. Prediction on the Gators game, it's too early for that for me, my man. A little too early for that. So I'm just reading through some of the comments, waiting to see if the connection kind of levels out a little bit. What's going on, Robert? Love seeing your little wave in the chat, man. Yeah, it's dropping in and out a little bit. What's going on, BDG? I'm just kind of watching it for a minute. Hopefully it'll level out here. Okay, so it seems to be working good enough at the moment. This isn't normal. Basically, the Miami Hurricanes Cup is for games. Any other time we kind of just chill with a red solo cup. So we're doing back-to-back streams. Streaming tonight, and then we're going to stream tomorrow night and see who we pick up. But the point of this stream, I'll go ahead and put it out there. This is your opportunity to make your predictions known. There's going to be video evidence here. So you can come back to this stream tomorrow night, screenshot it, and say, I told chat, I told Coop, this guy was picking Miami, or this guy wasn't picking Miami. That way you've got proof. That's the point of this stream. What's going on? I'm just a vibe. Hey, man, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Don says hi from the 305. Sorry about the little breakup when it first kicked off. It's got me, I'm scrambling here trying to make sure everything's working right. What's going on, Kendrick? So we're going to go ahead and hop right into it. Bringing up Uncle Lou already. What's going on, Wesley? Just chilling, man. Just chilling, man. Again, guys, this is not the permanent setup. I'm continuing to work on the room. We've backed ourselves into a corner a little bit here, but I'm going to continue to change things up. But let's go ahead and get into this video here, into the stream. What's going on, DJ? What's going on, Juan? We got people pouring in. I'm happy to see you guys showing up on a Tuesday night. So what we're going to do, I don't normally do a ton of recruiting stuff. You guys know that. Obviously, it's a huge factor. It's a big deal. It's how we build up our roster and create our team. But I don't usually get real in-depth with it. Normally, you guys are throwing in names that I say, hold up, let me Google this dude because I haven't even heard of him. And you guys are like, yeah, we've been chasing this guy for 2 years. So a lot of times you guys fill me in on it. But we're going to go through, I've got a list right here. We're going to go through some of these guys and see what you think. That way you can give your prediction on it. So we're going to go ahead and start with a bang with the big hitters, man. We're going to go ahead right out the gate and talk about Chris Bogle. I love seeing your guys' opinions on these players, and Chris Bogle is probably the one defensive end that every team in the country wants this guy.
on the side of your helmet.
It's all about the U, not FSU.
DJ, thank you for that $1.99, my man. Already on the board back here behind me, still donating. Thank you for that $1.99, my friend. Chris Bogle, here's the thing. For Canes fans, Chris Bogle is a love-hate relationship. Here's what you have to understand about Chris Bogle. We're going to transfer over. I'm going to pull up a screen or two here. There's a couple things you have to understand about Chris Bogle. I'm going to get these pulled up, and then we're going to take a look. Chris Bogle, because here's what I keep seeing. I keep seeing Miami Hurricanes fans say, we don't want Chris Bogle because he put on a Florida Gators uniform. I mean, come on. Let's be real here for a second. You're going to go around and visit some schools. I'm just going to be real with you. And I know it gets annoying sometimes seeing them, do the Gator chomp, and when people do the FSU stuff. I know. But here's the thing. He's a kid, and he's enjoying the ride. He likes to troll on social media, and it is what it is. It doesn't deny the fact that overall he is a pretty good football player. So we're going to do a little bit of Twitter investigating tonight. We're going to see if we can really just nail down where these guys are hinting at maybe that they might want to go. But that's what I want to know. And Uncle Joe is starting the conversation right here. He says he doesn't want Christina Bagel. Do you want Chris Bogle? Even though he is flip-flopping around and toying with fans all around the country, do you want Chris Bogle? I'm going to be honest with you. I'll take him. I'll take him. I know that it's annoying. I know that it's annoying, but not everybody bleeds orange and green from the get-go. The University of Miami is not every athlete's dream school. Let's just be honest with ourselves a little bit. What's going on, Alex? And Uncle Lou has decided to join us in the chat. Welcome, Uncle Lou. Buckle up, my friend. There's some Canes fans hanging out tonight. Yeah, and that's the thing. Chris Bogle, I mean, you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? You like the attention, and what a better way to get attention than when you have the spotlight on you, like Chris Bogle, than to troll fans on social media. I mean, it is what it is. He's a young kid, like I said. So I got some people were saying, Uncle Who.
This is what it take.
Uncle Lou, man.
They're
going to tell you how they feel. I'm going to let you know.
Hope we get transfers Hill and Phillips.
Yep, we're going to talk about that too, my friend. I'm a big fan of Trayvon Hill. And actually, I need to make note of that because I didn't have him noted down to talk about him. We're going to get Trayvon Hill in here, the Virginia Tech transfer. Yeah, and that's the thing. But Bogle's playing games a little bit, but it is what it is. Just like how we talked about when he retweeted the picture that he had up. Right here, Alabama, Gators, Tennessee, and Miami. Let's all be real for a second. I'm going to bring it back to me for a second because, listen, I got to tell you something. Let's be real. I live in East Tennessee. Bogle is not going to the Tennessee Vols. I'm just going to be real with you. Tennessee with Pruitt, they're kind of heading in the right direction a little bit, but Bogle's not interested in playing for a program that...
This is what it take.
Like the Tennessee Vols. Let's just be real for a second.
On the side of your helmet.
We've got a couple of donations coming through.
This is what it take.
I'm going to let it read a couple of these just real quick.
Then
we'll hop back in.
Richard Renfro $1.
This is what it take. To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Bogle coming to the U.
Don says we're getting Bogle.
This is what it take. To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Do you think Miami has a chance to crack the top 30 in recruiting?
And Uncle Lou coming through with a $10 donation to the channel. Let me thank the previous donators. Terry King with $2 says, hope we get transfers Hill and Phillips. I'm on board for those guys as well. Bobby Brewer with a $2 donation. Thank you for that, my friend. Ripping Carbine. I believe that's your first time donating. $1.99. Don coming through with a $1.99 saying Bogle coming to the U. And Uncle Lou with the massive $10 donation. Thank you for that, my man. Asking if I think Miami has a chance to crack the top 30 in recruiting. It's possible. If we crack the top 30, I'm talking 25 to 30 range, somewhere in there. I'm going to be realistic. And here's the thing. You guys know that I'm all about positivity. I always try to look at the bright side of things. But let's be honest. We're in a position where at the point we're at, we want to get the best players possible. But really what we've got to do, and some people are going to take this the wrong way. What we've got to do is we've got to set up for the 2020 recruiting class. We've got to salvage what we can, maybe pull a couple of miracles out, pull a couple of rabbits out of some hats here. Get lucky on a few of these kids, and then win games this 2019 season. And 2020 will be much, much better. I can promise you. We're not getting anyone new. And see, that's the thing. There are a lot of people who are saying there's not going to be any surprises. It's going to be pretty much who we think we're getting, and that's pretty much it. Bogle is a hard one. Like I said, make it known in the chat who you think Bogle is going to. I'm going to mull it over for a second myself. Bogle. Okay. I said in my video, in my recruiting video, that I thought that Bogle might potentially choose the U. But if you want Coop to be honest with you, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to feed you a bunch of BS and, you know, lead you in the wrong direction. I'm laughing at Uncle Lou's comment. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Uncle Lou. Bogle is probably going to Florida. That's my opinion. I think that Bogle is going to Florida. It's the one school. And yeah, we can take phone calls here in a bit if you want. If you guys want Uncle Lou to call in, if he's willing to call in, I'll take his phone call. If he wants to stay up and call in, I'll take it. Florida is the one team that Bogle consistently uploads pictures of him in a Gators jersey, talking about how it just feels like family to him. And here's the thing. Here was the one thing that kind of made me potentially lean towards Miami for Bogle a little bit. Bogle just recently visited Miami again. Does that mean something? Does it not? I don't know. You make the call. But he was at Miami on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that Bogle was in Miami. And typically your last visit is the one that sticks with you, unless he already had it in his head that he's going to be a Gator and he wanted to spend the weekend in Miami. That's a possibility. I'm going to put that out there. So for me, I'm circling. What's going on, David? David, I wanted to let you know that I've been slow at getting back to DMs on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, my man. I wanted to do something, some type of recruiting thing with you, because David, guys, knows he keeps up with recruiting a lot more than I do. He actually lets me know of a lot of names and things like that. So I ran out of time, David. I ran out of time, man. But Bogle, I'm sorry. I'm circling Florida. Bogle, I'll take him. Like I said, I'll take him. I know I need to move on. I'm focusing too much on Bogle. But that's a big-time recruit. So moving on, let's also talk about another big recruit here. I'll pull up their profiles as we talk to them. Some people are saying Bogle could be a Kane. Like I said, this is your opportunity to make your prediction known. We will take calls, David. We will take calls, actually. So let's go over here and look at next up. George Pickens, the big 5-star wide receiver. Getting a lot of attention with those 5 stars. Yeah, Uncle Lou, do you want one of the Don't Be a Fan Later shirts? I can get you one, my man. I'll get it out to you ASAP. You just let me know. But George Pickens, I'm going to be honest with you. Going to be Auburn. We're not getting Pickens. A lot of people, I actually had some people comment on my video and tell me that I was being too negative by not picking any of these guys to go to Miami. Here's the thing. Like I said, I'm hopeful and positive, but you got to be realistic. Not every kid, not every athlete in the country wants to go to Miami. And I get it. We couldn't take them all anyways. Let's be realistic here, guys. We can't have... How many people are signing on National Signing Day? In the thousands, I'm sure. 5,000 people. We're going to have 5,000 players playing for Miami. We don't want that many anyways. We don't want all those guys. So, George Pickens, no, I'm not even going to spend any more time on it. I'm not even going to spend any more time on it. Uncle Lou says he'll take a shirt. Size extra medium. Let's move along here. This is the one, I'm going to be honest with you. I am dead serious. That's going to have to be my catchphrase. I'm going to be honest with you. I say that all the time. Hey, Coop, I've noticed there are a lot of rainbow and unicorn Miami fans. I'll let the chat handle that. I'll let the chat handle that. Here's the guy that I want to know your opinion on. I mean, this is the one that I don't know. It's really hard. It's really hard for me to decide on this one. Slim Shady Canes, how's it going, my man? Thank you for stopping in. Mark Antony Richards. I'm going to tell you why this is such a difficult decision for me to make. A really difficult prediction. This is Amon Richards' brother. I know. Coop, we already know that. Listen, I know. The reason why I struggle with that is not everyone wants to play for a school just because they had a family member play there. Maybe he doesn't want to follow in his brother's footsteps. Maybe he doesn't want to always be compared to Amon Richards, his brother that played at Miami. The other thing is Mark Antony Richards is listed as an athlete. The only other position he really prefers to play is running back. And Miami originally under CMR recruited him as a corner. And Mark Antony Richards wants to play running back. He wants to play offense. And I think for several different reasons for him not wanting to follow in his brother's footsteps, for him wanting to play on the offensive side of the ball. And Miami's already, I'll take the depth. Miami is already, and I'm paying attention to what you guys are saying. Don't worry. I'm seeing what you guys are saying. They're not going to utilize him where he wants to be. I would take the depth at the running back position. He's 6'1", 195. We already have enough depth at running back. Listen, don't even get me started on our stable of running backs. Listen, next season, a healthy Lingard. We've got Cameron Davis. We still have DJ Dallas. We've got, who else am I missing? We've got Asa Martin if his waiver goes through. We've got 4, 5, 6 backs. Hey, thank you, DJ. Thank you for stopping in, DJ. Thank you, my man. And thank you for that donation, my friend. Mark Antony Richards, for a lot of different reasons, is not going to be a Cane. I've actually got him for Auburn as well. And it looks like, does anybody here think that Mark Antony Richards would go to the U? What's going on, Jason? I hope you hang out for a little bit, Lou, because we'll take your call if you want. We will. Sorry, I had an email from YouTube. Okay, that was weird. All right. Hey, thank you for that. I'm just a vibe. Thank you, my friend. Mark Antony Richards, no, he's going to Auburn. And I don't think that really anybody else really thinks that he's going to go to Miami. So I've got Auburn circled. Let's move on to the next guy here. And apparently I pronounced his name right. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm not going to lie because I usually butcher names. But one of his coaches in high school contacted me, and he was like, "Hey, Coop, yeah, you pronounced his name right. It's still possible that he could come to Miami, but it's another one that's highly unlikely. Another one that's highly unlikely." Kaiir Elam. How's it going, Betty? Kaiir Elam, the 4-star corner. And you guys can put your opinions in the chat as we go through these. Honestly, I think this guy is a Gator. I'm going to be honest. This is one of those where I actually flip it the other way. Mark Antony Richards not wanting to come to the U and follow in his brother's footsteps. Then you got Kaiir Elam, whose uncle was a Gator, coming in and following in his footsteps. So Kaiir Elam, definitely probably a Gator. He recently, I believe, visited Colorado. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, most athletes, if you're choosing between Florida or Colorado, you're taking Florida. As much as I can't stand Florida or the Gators, and probably most of us are in that same boat. If you're choosing between Colorado and Florida, you're taking Florida. Just honestly. So Elam, we're not getting him. And so far, we are 0 for 4 with what we're going through here. So let's continue down the list. Maybe to someone who might consider the U. The next guy that I have on my list. Let's see if we can track him down. I like to pull it up just so you guys can see, so you guys can put a face with him. You might already know him anyways. Here we go, here he is. Yeah, that's true, David. And that's the thing, a lot of people are just dogging and trashing this recruiting class. And I get it, but there's so many other factors that play a part in it. It is what it is. We are not going to go, listen, hear me out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and break your heart if you were hopeful. We're not going from the number 32 recruiting class to a top 5 or a top 10 or a top 20. I'm just being honest with you. It's not going to happen, period. It's just not. So let's move on to Martin Emerson Jr. Was a hard commit to Mississippi State back in July of 2018. The cornerback, 6'2", 185. I actually think it's a good chance that we get this guy. I have him circled as a Miami Hurricane. There are a lot of reasons why I think that. Let's see, when was his... So he's not visited Miami in a while. There was an in-home visit, a coach visit on January 14th. It's possible that we get this kid. He's from Pensacola, Florida. I think he's a Cane. That's one that I kind of think that we've got. I really think that he's one that we can nail down. I'm going to go ahead and circle Martin Emerson Jr. and say he's a Cane. He is signing at noon. And tomorrow, here's the thing, guys. We will go live tomorrow night. I have to work during the day. Otherwise, I wish I could just stream all day and we would just do constant updates and stuff as people sign. But I will stream tomorrow night and we'll go over. We're going to have a good time talking about some of the people that do sign. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. That'll be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So next one, moving on. That's the first one, actually, that I've put down that I think we could possibly get. And make sure, and looks like we've got a Mississippi State fan who says they think that they'll keep him. So we'll see, my man. Make sure that you make your opinion known in chat because this is going to be video evidence that you called it. So make sure that you make it known in chat how you feel about it. Now this next guy. I'm going to bring him up anyways. If I can find him. There we go. Okay. Slim Shady says Emerson is not coming. We'll see. I'm kind of hopeful on him. We'll see. MDC coming in here saying Bogle to the U, Williams to the U. Pickens to the U. Those are some bold statements, MDC. Those are some bold statements, my friend. We'll see. This next guy. You guys see what's over here in the corner right here. You see my mouse wiggling around. You see it. Darius Washington, the offensive tackle, 6'4", 285, from Pensacola, Florida. Yeah, you guys see what I'm looking at here. Most recent visit to Florida State University. I think there is no chance that Miami gets Darius Washington. Maybe we want him, maybe we don't want him. I'm just saying he's going to FSU. That's the plan for Darius Washington. So, and we will take calls here in just a minute. We're almost through my list, and then you guys can call in and tell me what you're thinking. So I've got FSU circled for Darius. Don't get me started on Plumlee. That's in the past. I'm just mentioning the name because some people are going to. It's Danny is in the chat, another YouTuber who does vlogs on YouTube. He says, I don't follow CF too much to know about recruiting, but hopefully we get solid players that can get the job done right and help us get that national championship. You got it, It's Danny. You got it, my man. Let's look at, I'm not going to lie. Like I said, I don't pretend to know more than I do. And there are some of these players that I just don't get the opportunity to keep up with. So I'm curious, does anybody know what happened to the Trayvon Hill situation, the Virginia Tech transfer? If not, I'm going to look it up if nobody in here knows for sure. Darth Vader coming in saying Pickens, Auburn. We had that as well. Says Bogle, Miami. Williams, Miami. Washington, FSU. Yep. Emerson. I think that we could snag Emerson, but you got Mississippi State. Elam, UF. You got it, man. And Richards, Auburn. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty similar, Darth Vader. Pretty similar. Hill is waiting to see what Bogle does. That makes sense. That makes sense. Hopefully that doesn't work out to where we don't get either one. I'm going to be honest, because I would like to have one of those two guys. They're both athletes. I would probably take... I don't know if some people are going to like my decision on this. I'd probably take Bogle over Trayvon Hill. Bogle we can kind of mold out of the gate from the get-go. Trayvon Hill has game time experience, but he's been a Hokie. You know what I'm saying? And I'll take him, but I'm just saying Bogle we can mold from the get-go right out of high school. So I would probably take Bogle over Hill if I had the opportunity. I don't have any more news on Phillips. I don't. Why do you not want Bogle, Slim Shady? Is it due to the social media stuff, or is there another reason? I'm just curious. I like to ask people. Let me check to make sure. What's going on, Matthew? I want to make sure that everything's still working right. I'm just pulling up the video here to make sure. Okay. It's still working, still working. You'll explain when you call me? Okay, good deal, good deal. I'm actually probably about to open up the phone lines. That way we can take some callers and talk about this. It's a Tuesday night, so I know a lot of people got to work tomorrow. I don't know if Uncle Lou's still here. I don't know. You guys might have scared him away. I don't know. So let me get it pulled up to take some phone calls. Don't go anywhere, guys, because this could get interesting. We're going to get the phone calls opened up here. All right, give me just a second, guys. All right, we've already got some calls coming through. Give me just a second, guys. Give me just a second. What's going on, Black Hollywood? Let's see. Just a second. I'm actually looking, this is totally unrelated. And you guys don't need to worry about this. I will handle this. But apparently YouTube is telling me that they are going to pull my channel due to misleading thumbnails. You guys don't worry about that. I'm going to handle this, but I do not know where the misleading thumbnails are coming from. I'm sorry, it just that their stuff is coming down off of my channel currently. I don't know what the heck is going on, but I'll take care of that. That's not something for you guys to worry about. I just think that's kind of crazy. I do not think we've done any misleading thumbnails. Okay. Don't know where that's coming from. I'll handle that and take care of that. I might need you guys to back me up. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But let me get the phone calls opened up. No, it's real J Wade. That's right. That's on my YouTube channel. But I'm not gonna make you guys worry about that. Let's see. Let me get the Google Voice opened up. Now, if you want to call in and talk about recruiting, I would prefer, if possible, to keep the talks about recruiting, National Signing Day, stuff like that, just because that's kind of the focus on this. If possible. So if you want to call in, it is that number right there, 865-229-4131. And it should be a go. We should be open and ready. Phone's ringing already, so let's take this call, 954. Looks like we got a 954 on the line. Now, who do we have on the phone?
Hello, Coop. This is Chris. I tried calling in earlier. Just want to let you know I'm a huge fan. I can't say I'm here too long, but I just want to give you a little bit of my predictions. Now, I just want to let you know how I know this. My stepfather's father is actually very good friends with Coach Manny Diaz. And
Okay.
from what I have heard, Washington committing to Miami, Bogle committing to Miami, and Pickens possibly committing to Miami. And those are three people that, as of right now, will be committing to Miami if they follow through.
Yeah, those are definitely some bold ones, because those would be some big grabs in there. So we'll see. I mean, I know that a lot of people, including myself, are, I don't know how I feel about some of these big guys if they're actually going to choose the U. But I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'd take them. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, and in all honesty, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, Manny Diaz is a master recruiter, so we gotta just trust him. I see like a lot of bandwagon fans out there just saying, you know what, like, in all honesty, like Manny Diaz doesn't really know what he's doing. Da 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 da. I think we just need to trust him. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
but,
there's a lot of people who say that he's very bad at recruiting. I will say that I do think we have to give him obviously a little bit of time. I know some people were saying he's not that good at recruiting, but he was also doing it as wow, I'm going totally blank. I don't know where I was going with that. Basically, what I'm saying is we need to give him at least the 2020 season to really settle in after we've won some games, hopefully, fingers crossed. And we've had time to get everything back on track and get a full recruiting class in there. Because I do see a lot of people on different forums and different groups and stuff say that they don't think that he's good at recruiting.
Yeah. And, you know, and put it like this. I mean, he defensively, we're stacked. You know, offensively, we have a great quarterback. Tate Martell, he reminds me a lot of a Ken Dorsey. And that's great because, you know, if you remember, like, Ken Dorsey was a great college quarterback. And so, you know, I'm very, very excited. Got my season tickets. And,
there you go. Heck yeah.
You know, and anyways, yeah. Oh, one final question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
What are your a little bit of your predictions on who's going to start as quarterback?
I'm gonna make a video on it. I hate being that person that says I can't really give that answer right now. It's hard to say without at least seeing something in the spring a little bit, because there's such limited amount of college level footage out there for Jaron Williams and Tate Martell, and then everything that we've seen from N'Kosi Perry was in typically not good situations that he was thrown into the game. So it's really just too early for me to say. Again, I hate being that guy, but I'm just going to say whoever wants it more is going to win it. I will make a prediction on that after we see some spring ball and stuff.
Yes,
so
sir.
I will put my opinion out there.
Okay, yeah, and one last thing that I want to say real quick. All right, this is what I would want to see. I would want to see Tate Martell simply with better coaching, which is what we're going to get. You know, and like all I can say is that Tate Martell is going to be fantastic this year. He's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, have you seen QB1? I just started watching the first season of that the other night.
Yeah.
Tate Martell has the swag. I will agree with that. People told me, you know, just watch QB1 and you'll learn a little bit about Tate Martell. And they were right. He's got some swag and a little bit of attitude, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So.
No, you know what? Here's the thing. I do not call that a swag. I call it swagger. And that is what Miami is known for.
Yep, you got it. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, my man. And we'll see. I hope we snag those guys. I really do.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right. Have a good night, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, so some bold predictions coming in. So let's see. We've got a 901. Let's take this next phone call. All right, looks like we've got a 901 on the line. Who do we have on the phone?
What's going on, Coop? It's Slim Shady.
What's going on, Slim Shady?
Okay. First of all, nothing against the guy that just called in.
Hey, everyone's more than welcome to speak their opinion.
Tate Martell is nothing like Ken Dorsey. Absolutely nothing.
Now,
I hate to break it to him.
Are you a fan of Tate Martell at all?
I
know it's hard to say.
He looked decent in high school. Now, I have my questions about him when it comes to the long ball. Now, whether that's the system he ran in high school and what they let him throw, you know, what little he got to throw in that Rutgers game is really what you saw the most out of him. Like I said, I have my questions about whether or not he can throw the deep ball. But first of all, Dorsey's not a runner at all. And I'm not a big fan of running quarterbacks. I'd rather, me personally, I'm a fan of just to give a comparison, say like an Aaron Rodgers type quarterback, somebody who's going to sit in the pocket but can get away from the pressure.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I want running to be their last resort.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion on that. I'm going to have to disagree with you on Emerson. I think if he does decide not to go to Mississippi State, I think he may end up going to Florida because that's where his uncle is trying to push him because his uncle played for the Gators.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that does definitely make a difference.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, that's something that, I pointed out to Alonzo. Cade Weldon's dad played for FSU.
Yeah. Was
a star at FSU. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it, but a lot of times it has a lot to do with it. I mean, look at guys like, Al Blades Jr., obviously his family had a lot to do with it. Trajan Bandy, obviously his family had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Family can influence you, and like you said, sometimes it can be to be a Cane, and sometimes it's to not be a Cane, even if it was that they did play at Miami.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this: I'm not a fan, for the most part, in general, of legacy players. Big name players, their kids coming into play, because a lot of times they just do not pan out.
Right.
And you've seen it, with Miami players. Testaverde's son, Ray Lewis's son. So far you haven't seen a lot out of Urban's son, except a lot of trouble.
That's true.
He could have had a good year this year, may have straightened himself up, but blew out his knee. You'll never know. Maybe he can come in next year and contribute. I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
And I got to ask you, I'm not trying to change the subject at all, but because I remembered your comment that you had mentioned earlier. What is it
Chris
about Bogle? Yeah, you know where I'm going. Because everybody, of course, it's who everybody's talking about. So I'm just curious what you have to say.
I look at it like this. Bogle committed to Alabama because Alabama, right now, between Alabama and Clemson, those are your premier programs. He's leaving Alabama because he's not going to start day one.
I can agree with that.
I'm not convinced he's going to start day one here. So he very well may decide to commit here and then transfer. And honestly, that's what I see out of him.
How big wasn't it? I thought I saw someone saying that maybe he was slightly undersized potentially to start day one. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Maybe. To be honest with you, what I see out of Chris Bogle, I want to see him redshirt this year. I want to see them put some size on him. If he comes, put some size on him, move him to the interior of the line.
But you don't think he's coming to the U, though, right?
He may. I just don't want him.
I know. I keep doing that too.
He's got that. It's just, and it's other things you've heard that have, some rumors that have come out about him from high school coaches and stuff like that. He's already got this diva attitude to him already. No, I'm just not a fan of players like that.
Yeah, and see, I don't know if it's just kind of the limelight just kind of messing with him, and if once he gets on a squad, on a team, he's going to kind of settle down, and I guess really if you look back at history, that's probably not the case.
It could be, because a lot of these kids, all the attention is on them during recruiting, and it's going to go to any 17, 18-year-old's head.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, yes, a lot of them do once they get enrolled, once they're in classes, a lot of them settle down. And that could be the case with him. I could be wrong, but I don't know. My gut says no.
Yeah, I personally would take him. Obviously, if he picks a sign with Miami, we're taking him anyways. But I'm just saying, if I had the choice, overall, the tape I have watched, he's a pretty decent football player. So I think even with that diva mentality he's got going on right now, I think I'd still probably take him.
Well, here's the thing: if they bring in both Phillips and Hill, which it's looking like they're going to do,
it's very possible.
He is not going to take the starting spot over one of them and Jonathan Garvin.
Yeah. And he does seem like, especially with the kind of attention that he likes, I think that he wants to try to hurry and start as quick as possible.
Well, especially with the transfer portal, that's what college football basically has become these days.
Yeah,
you have to put. I mean, and he's not the only one. Look at Justin Fields. He wasn't gonna get the start at Georgia, so he left, went to Ohio State. And that's another reason I kind of have a problem with Martell, because you run your mouth. And I mean, if you would have stood there and backed it up, all props to you. But then you decide to transfer. Whether or not it's because of him, it looks like it's because of him.
Right. Yeah, the game is evolving a little bit. Whether it's for the better or the worse, I don't really know yet, the outcome. But things are changing a little bit.
Yeah, and I know what you were hinting to. I mean, everybody does when you were talking about people are saying, man, he can't recruit. Okay. I call in Uncle Lou all the time. If y'all haven't figured out Uncle Lou yet, he talks shit.
Oh, yeah, that's what he does.
I mean, and honestly, can anybody say something he said wrong? That number 32 class is bad. Period. I mean, okay, it sucks.
Yeah, as I say, with some stuff, the truth does just hurt sometimes. I mean, it's true.
But, I mean, when it comes down to it, the rest of it outside of that, it's just trash talk. I call into him all the time, and you know what? He really thinks Miami's going to give Florida all they want and then some. Because I've talked to him several times about that game. He said his eyes are definitely going to be locked on that game week 1.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I've seen 4 or 5 people ask, because a lot of people know who you are, and I know that you call in on a lot of channels and stuff. They're asking who you want to start at QB.
Perry. Point blank, period. I think because of the system that Dan Enos likes to run, Perry and Martell fit it the best. Not taking a single thing away from Jaron Williams. I think Jaron Williams is great. I do not think Jaron Williams is that much more of a precision passer than Perry is. And Perry is definitely more mobile than Jaron is. But I think you're going to see a definite improvement all around out of quarterback play, because now they actually have a quarterback coach.
Yeah, and I mean, that does make a huge difference. I mean, it's going to be an entirely different system. It's going to be an entirely different development process with the way that he kind of teaches the QBs some of the basics and stuff potentially. So they could come out looking, I mean, you have your normal kind of, I guess, tendencies and things that you just naturally do in general, but they could come out looking a lot different than they did this last season, I think. All of the QBs.
Well, here's my thing. Perry got pulled in the Virginia game basically after 1 interception. Okay, he threw 2 picks, but the second one went right through the receiver's hands, and he kind of tipped off his hands and went into the defender's hands. So,
right.
To me, that pick's on the wide receiver.
Yeah,
I would do the same thing for Malik if that was. Yeah, I would do the same thing for Malik. As much as I didn't like him, there were picks. People would just would call into Alonzo's show and say, "Well, Malik threw 3 picks." I'm like, no, Malik threw 2 picks, and one of them, bounced right off the receiver's hands. So I can't put that one on Malik. And then you saw, I keep wanting to say it was the Boston College game, but I may be wrong, where he swapped out Malik and Perry like 4 times in that game.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time recalling specifically which one, but I do remember that scenario though.
Yeah, and he put Perry in. We got pinned back at the 2-yard line. Actually, I think they were pinned deep in their territory both times Perry got put in. So I mean, you put the combination of that play calling, quarterback coaching, predictable play calling, and then the fact that a freshman is just going to make mistakes. They all do it.
Yeah, I feel like for me personally, because honestly, that's probably the number one thing I get asked constantly is who's going to start QB, who's going to be the QB. I overall, I just want someone to take it and run with it, show some leadership, show they want to lead the offense, and that's really all I can say about it. Because again, I think it should just be open competition in the spring. The best guy wins. The leader comes in and takes control of the offense, and it's going to be that guy. And it's just really hard to say.
I completely agree with you.
It's hard to say since we've got that, like you mentioned, with the new system and stuff coming in, a new person developing the QBs. It's too hard to go ahead and say, yeah, this guy is the one that's starting, because we don't know what they're going to look like coming out with this new system and stuff. It's just that we don't know yet.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, I mean, I'll support whoever the quarterback is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's just who I think is going to be the one to end up with it.
Right.
Because the biggest thing is going to be game experience, and that's the big leap ahead that Perry has over anybody else in that quarterback room.
That's true. That's true.
You know, I have a couple other problems with Tate Martell. I mean, I'm not a fan. Yes, it works, but I'm not a fan of these midget quarterbacks. I mean, he's 5'8". Can he even see over the offensive line?
Hey, I feel for him. I'm 5'6". A lot of people think I'm like 6 foot. I'm 5'6", so I feel him. But yeah, I mean, you got to put the guy in there that gives us the best position to win. I mean, like you said that I'm just kind of reiterating something you were mentioning earlier. I mean, he does tend to, he tends to tuck it and run from what I've seen on his clips and stuff. And that
was my biggest criticism of Jalen Hurt at Alabama. Why I didn't want him to transfer here, because that's his first instinct.
Right. Yeah, and if that's not the way your offense is designed around the running QB in the first place, which still I'm not necessarily a huge fan of it, just to be honest. But they're all putting Tate Martell's height in the chat. Most people are pretty hyped on Tate Martell.
A lot of people are hyped on Tate Martell because, I mean, not to sound demeaning or anything, he's the bright shiny new toy.
Right. I mean, it's very true. Yeah, you can't deny
it's
that.
It's the same reason people were calling for Jaron towards the end of the season. I mean, okay, you're calling for Jaron, but how do you know what he's going to do? You've never seen him play.
Yeah.
He threw 3 passes in the FIU game.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of keep telling people where they want me to nail one down and pick one, and I've just with Jaron, I'm not he might be one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play at Miami if he starts. I don't know, but I've not seen the tape on him because we don't have any, and like you said, I've not seen him in game time situations, so I just don't know how good he would be. I can't say that he's that the quarterback that would take us to the promised land, because I just don't know that. There's a lot of now we're at a lot of. We just kind of we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who should start here.
You're guessing.
We don't know who should. I mean, yeah, exactly. It's just opinions, guessing. You got it exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Jaron is the type of quarterback I like. I like a pocket passer.
Mm-hmm.
I do, because I don't want to just see them succeed at Miami. I want to see them succeed at the next level.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sorry, but Baker Mayfield looked good this year. But look at every running quarterback to go to the NFL. Russell Wilson didn't win a Super Bowl until they turned him into a pocket passer that can run. Cam Newton didn't make it to a Super Bowl until they turned him into a pocket passer that can run. So, I mean, as fun and flashy as these running quarterbacks are to see, I mean, be honest with you, look who just dominated the national title game. A pocket passer that can run.
That's true.
And he didn't even start running until the fourth quarter. I mean, outside of that, first 3 quarters, He sat back in that pocket, maybe escaped some pressure here and there. Okay, I mean, that goes back to what I said about, the Aaron Rodgers type that can be elusive and move the pocket when he needs to.
Yeah,
but
Jay, that is Slim Shady on the phone. They were asking who was talking.
the one and only. Yes.
So what do you think then about? Because I know some people were saying that we're not talking about recruiting. What do you think about? Someone had mentioned, if I thought that we were going to be any better than 32 in the country at recruiting. Do you think that we gain any traction there with that, or you think we?
I mean, they may crack the top 30, but I think with the transfers he brought in, they'll be fine this year. Yeah, I know you talked about this in your last show, and I missed it because I was working. But I think just going by the title, nobody needs to have playoff expectations on their mind this year.
Oh, yep, there you go. Yeah, you got it. Yep. Yeah, I caught some flack for that one because I said there you got to have some realistic expectations. Obviously, that's the end goal, and that's what every college football team is shooting for, and that's what you're working towards. But there are a lot of things that you got to take into consideration and be somewhat realistic.
Now I will say this: on paper, they will be favored to win probably every game but the Florida game this year.
Probably, yeah.
So when it comes to games they should win, I mean, they should go on paper 12-0, 11-1. But do I think they'll do it? Probably not. I'm thinking anywhere from 9-11.
Yep, I feel like there's going to be a little bit. I know we're bringing in some transfers and stuff, but I still think there's gonna be some growing pains with the new system. There's going to be times where these guys that have honestly, some of the guys that are veteran guys have been working these other systems for the past few years. Literally, just erase all of it out of your brain, start over. Now you're doing something else. There's going to be some situations where they're going to be under some pressure, and some people are going to do things wrong. That are going to put us potentially in some bad situations in some games. And that's just part of the growing pains that comes with that, in my opinion, with getting new staff and new systems and things.
Well, I'll agree with you on offense. Defense, it's always a lot easier to install a defense than it is an offense.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And especially that, attacking 4-3 defense. I mean, it's a 4-3 is widely used in high school because of its simplicity.
Right.
And not saying Manny runs a simple defense or anything, but
if it's effective,
whatever work. You know what? It's worked at every level of the game.
Yeah.
It's. I ran it in high school when I played middle linebacker. All of Miami's great teams have run a 4-3 defense. And I'm a Tampa Bay fan, so that Tampa 2 coverage that Monty Kiffin invented there in Tampa, it's based off a 4-3 defense.
Yeah.
So, it's won championships, at every level, and it can't. It's one of those defenses that just seems to come natural to a lot of people. Offense is where I will definitely agree with you that they're going to have their growing pains.
Yeah.
You might as well expect whoever the quarterback is not going to have just a stellar, remarkable year. Now, if I see improvement over last year, that's all I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a hard mark to hit. But when it comes to what I think they'll do over the course of a season, my personal opinion, 10-2.
Yeah, I said 9 or 10 wins would be a step in the right direction for Manny's first season, in my opinion.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Even if they went 12-0 during the season, okay, then you're going to run smack into Clemson. What are you going to do then?
Yeah, very true. Very true.
So, I mean, just Rome wasn't built in a day. I mean, Nick Saban didn't turn Alabama around in a year. 2007 year, Nick Saban's first year at Alabama, they sucked.
Yep.
And I mean, Manny's never been a head coach before. Nick had been a head coach for 15, 20 years at that point.
Yep. Gonna be his first time doing it.
But I think he's brought in the right guys to help him. I mean, obviously on defense, a lot of people weren't happy with Blake Baker as a defensive coordinator. But you're talking about the guy that took over as defensive coordinator at Louisiana Tech when Manny left. So the way I look at it, who better to run a Manny system than somebody Manny has taught and groomed to be a defensive coordinator right behind him?
Yeah, that's very true.
I'll
if you don't mind, I don't want to cut you off. Feel free to speak your piece. But if you want, I'm going to try to get in as many callers as possible because I know that it is a weekday. And
no problem. Not a problem in the world.
But I'll try to get a couple more people in. We'll see. Like I said, we're going to stream again tomorrow night. Of course, kind of talking about who we get, who we don't get, and all that good stuff. So.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. I appreciate you calling in, Slim Shady.
All right, man.
All right, have a good one, man.
All right, you too.
All right, so if you want to call in, right? Nope. Over here. 865-229-4131. I'm so politically correct. That's me, Betty. All right, looks like we got a 303 on the line. Who do we have on the phone?
Hey, Coop, it's Jason, man. Canes fan out of Denver. I don't want to keep it quick, keep it short and simple so you can get some of the colors on. But
yeah, definitely.
I truly feel if Bogle commits, because he's the first guy committing tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., the dominoes are going to fall with Pickens, potentially Elam, and then Williams as well. So I'll let you guys go ahead and chomp on that. With that, man, big fan out of Denver. Appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for calling in, my man.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. All right, so this man says Bogle. Bogle making his decision at 8 a.m. We're going to see. It's going to be a big day. All right, looks like we got 954. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, Coop. What's going on?
What's going on, my man? Who do we got on the phone?
This is D from Miami.
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I think this guy, Bogle, man, he's a diva, as everyone said. But going back to the last caller, Emerson, Emerson was never considering Florida. He was probably discussing Elam. Elam's uncle was considering Florida.
Yeah, I know Elam. Yeah, his uncle played for the Gators. Yeah.
But the last caller just went in, Bogle. I mean, yeah, he's a great player and all that, but I don't think that's going to potentially lead other players going in because I think this guy Christian Williams would end up committing. I think Bogle will stay firm with Alabama. Elam will go to Florida. But there was one thing I wanted to touch base on, and do you think that we are being too aggressive, especially on Junior Day with Category 2020 and 21 Savages? I mean, I love the fact that we're going aggressive, especially at the juniors or sophomores, but you think that's too early? You think that we're putting our cards on the table too quick?
I kind of like to try to, I guess, reach out and at least maybe make an impression on some young players potentially. Now, I can see that on both sides, though, because I can also see the argument of later on down the road it's not really going to matter necessarily. So I think you just have to – it's kind of a difficult thing for me to say exactly trying to get across what I'm trying to say. You don't want to spend too much time on it and put too much into it because, again, I guess that's kind of the deal with all recruiting, but you could be doing it all for nothing potentially. So right. I guess you want to kind of limit your resources when it comes to that, but you do want to make an impression kind of early if possible, I think. So I hate to be that vague person again, but yes and no. I'm kind of going both ways.
I see a lot of offers going out, man, and I'm a little concerned about that because, I mean, we want to kind of pinpoint talent, you know what I mean? But I don't want us to become. I mean, we're using this transfer portal, which is to our advantage, but I just don't. I really don't want to just throw offers out there. Although we need depth, we need talent. I really feel that. I think at this point, Manny Diaz is coming early in the game, and he's just trying to recruit so he can be ahead, so he can get the great rankings for 2020 and 2021. But at the same time, I feel that down the line, I think we should be able to have people want to be with Miami, want to get that offer. Because if you look at Alabama, you know, they're a type of team, you know, I don't know if you realize this, but whenever it comes to marquee players, or people on the radar, they actually go aggressive towards the end of the season and offer these kids, and then that's when they end up flipping. So hopefully we can get to that stage as we get better and prominent and everything else. But I'm gonna let the next caller go on. But I just want to say you're doing a great job, and let's see what happens. But as far as Bogle, I mean, listen, like everyone said, he's a diva. If he ends up committing, I see him transferring. I think he's undersized. I think he needs to bulk up a little bit, but of course, that's part of being a high school kid.
Yeah,
with strength, you know, you're going to get better. But I'll let the next caller go on. But let's see tomorrow. Let's see what happens.
I appreciate you putting in your 2 cents, my man. Like I said, this is everybody's chance to make their final predictions and come back on this video and say, "Hey, I told you so." So I appreciate you putting in your opinion.
And one last thing, Martell, Dorsey, no comparison. I see. I mean, I think they're two different quarterbacks. But if I had to give a prediction on the next quarterback playing for Miami, I really like to see Williams because you know he was never given a shot. He was pretty much a great high school recruit. I mean, out of high school. So I really see Williams because he has more of the upside, and I really hate for a kid like that to transfer. Perry, I don't know. But let's see. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, my man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, bye.
Yep, hey, this is your chance. Even if everybody doesn't agree with you, it's not about saying what everybody agrees with. Speak your piece because here's your chance. All right, looks like we got a 352. Who do we have on the line?
This is Chris from Ocala, Florida, man.
What's going on, man? Calling in all the way from Cali?
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to get your take. Do you think we get Phillips and Hill?
It's possible. I do agree with some of the people who are mentioning the Bogle situation, though, with the Trayvon Hill thing, because with Hill and Phillips, really, these guys kind of the same thing. They're looking for immediate play time. These guys are going to want to start from the get-go. I see it being more realistic that we get both of those guys than us getting Bogle, just to be honest. So I do think that there is a good possibility that we could pick up those guys.
100%. And thank you so much for taking the call, man. You have a great rest of your day.
Oh, definitely. Hey, you too, man. Thanks for calling in.
No problem. Have a good one.
Have a good night, bro. Dang, quick call. That's probably world record here. That call was under 30 seconds. That guy got straight to the point. He knew what point he wanted to make, and he spoke his piece. I see still some QB talk going on here, and that's okay. Like I said, look, guys, you don't have to say. I want you to hear me out here for just a second. Don't ever put in J-Wade. That's what I was talking about. YouTube just pulled all of my stuff. Just so you guys know, if you want to donate, and I'm not putting this out here just to get you to donate. YouTube just pulled all of my monetization, all my super chats, all my everything. Because apparently I'm making too many people flagged my videos. I don't really know what the deal is with that. I know it's part of being a Miami Hurricanes YouTuber. I'm just going to be serious with you guys. I've had this happen 1 or 2 times. I had a ton of people flag the Francois video I put up. And I don't know if you watched the Francois video. I'm just going to speak out. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this stuff with YouTube. The Francois video, I said I wish him the best of luck, and I hate seeing athletes waste opportunities that they're given. And so many people flagged that video that YouTube has pulled my monetization. They've pulled my ability to make the thumbnails for that. It literally just happened 15 minutes ago. I just got an email saying that they have pulled everything. So what I'm getting at, and like I said, you don't have to. I'm just saying because people are asking where it's at. If you want to donate, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. There is a workaround where you can donate straight through the PayPal. It still pops up as a notification on here. But as of right now, YouTube has pulled all of my stuff because apparently I am too violent and too mean over here. I don't know what the deal is. So it is what it is. So what you got to deal with, you get hate as a Miami Hurricane, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's in the college football world, it doesn't matter. So wouldn't have it any other way. So I've got the phone line back open. I just wanted to speak my piece on that because that just happened. So looks like we've got another caller. Let's go ahead and take this. All right, looks like we've got a 309 on the line. Who do we have on the phone?
What's up? Cool? This is Beard Gang Hurricane, man.
What's going on, my man?
How you doing, man? First of all, don't worry about it. That's good, brother. First of all, don't worry about YouTube, man. You know we don't have haters like that. We don't have haters from day one since we've been winning championships. So don't even worry about them. But anyway. Man, I like Williams, man. I've been saying this since day one, man. I just seen, you know what I'm saying? I just seen a lot of accuracy. I see a lot of maturity in him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe he'll be good for us. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about Perry and all that because he showed a lot of immaturity or whatever, but you know, in my personal opinion, I just think that Williams, he could take us to the next level because of his accuracy and all that there. So that's all I really want to talk about for real.
I got you. Yeah, and I think that he is a good football player. I would like to see him in, of course, game situations. To see how he performs. Now he's not been given the opportunity, so you can't really dog him and hate on him. And you're not doing that, but I'm saying for other people who are saying, you know, oh, he sucks, so he's not good enough. Well, we don't know. I mean, all we've been able to see is his high school tape and then spring tape and stuff like that. So I mean, he does definitely have potential. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be interesting, no matter what. Like I keep saying, I keep putting it out there. Whoever comes in and takes the job is who I want to get. I don't want them to just win it. I want them to come in and take the job. Where we know without a shadow of a doubt, Diaz knows, Enos knows, the fans know, the other players know, this guy's the leader, this guy's running the ship, and this guy runs the offense. That's my QB. That's who I want to be back there.
Right. Yeah, and, you know, I kind of felt that last year with Perry, man. Like, I felt like once he came in the game, man, it's like, the offense, you know what I'm saying, grew to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, once he got in there, like, the offense ran smoothly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had some hiccups, but, you know, that was his first time starting. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell how the offense had grew with him. You know what I'm saying? It just all the off-field stuff that was going on. But, you know, I hope whoever coming out, you know, They come, like you said, they go and win the job and
they take it, exactly.
Do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, but this is my first time calling you, so I just want to say thank you for taking my call, man. And I'm gonna let everybody else get to calling, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, my man. Thanks for calling in.
All right.
Have a good one, man. That's my man, Beard Gang Hurricane. He's got a YouTube channel as well. I don't know if he's still posting on there or not. But Coop isn't going anywhere. We've got his back. YouTube, what are you doing? Appreciate it, Russell. Yeah, YouTube. It shouldn't ask for that, Greg. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. And don't worry about it. I appreciate it, Greg. Donations are never required. I just think it's crazy that I hate even bringing it up because this is all about the Canes, but it's just crazy that I had so many videos flagged and reported, and we try so hard to keep it PG and PG-13 over here, to the point that so many people hating on other Miami Hurricanes YouTubers that I can potentially get my channel shut down. I mean, that's insane. That just blows my mind, and I might need you guys to fight for me a little bit if you're up for it. If my Miami Hurricanes family is willing to fight for me a little bit, I might have to ask a favor or two. We'll see. I'm not gonna put anything on you guys. I'm gonna try my best to handle it, but man, I'd hate to see this channel have to go, man. I don't even want to start thinking about that. So let's get on to the next call. We got 305. What's going on, man? Looks like we got 305 on the line. Who do we have on the phone?
Hey, Coop, this is Anthony.
What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, what do you think about Peyton Matacha? Do you think he has the ability to start? Let's say he wins the quarterback thing during the. Do you think he's a start? Do you think he's more of a developmental quarterback, or do you think he can start like day one?
I don't think he can start day one. It's not that necessarily that I'm saying he's not good enough. I think he just wouldn't have the experience under his belt for them to feel comfortable putting him in there. He may be more of a red shirt kind of guy. And I think, yeah, Vincent McKay just said that in chat. More of a guy that we might potentially redshirt. Enos has had his eye on him for a while, which is promising. That makes me think that there's definitely some potential there. But I think it's already now. Like I said, I want it to be open competition. I'm ready for and willing for it to be anybody who wants to come in and take the job. However, I think based on the other guys we have in line with Perry, with Williams, with Martell, I am a fan of Peyton, but I think he's more of a no matter what, he sits this year, and then we kind of go from there, just to be honest.
Yeah, and I have predictions for the class.
Definitely go for it.
Chris Williams, we can flip him, but LSU scares me. We might be. Bogle's probably going to Clemson. We're probably going to get Darius Williams, right? Is it Darius or Daryl Williams, the one that's from Mississippi State?
Are you talking about Martin Emerson, the cornerback?
No, Washington, the offense. No, the offensive
Oh, Darius. Line. Yeah, Darius Washington.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Emerson's staying at I don't think Emerson is coming to Miami. I want him to, but I think he's staying at Mississippi State. We're probably going to get who else? And we can get another transfer. The offensive tackle from Georgia Tech is probably saying, I'm hearing that he might transfer to Miami.
Yeah, that is a possibility. There are some talks in the works with that guy as well, definitely.
Honestly, I think we can't blame Manny if we don't get any of these guys. Let's say, hypothetically, some of these guys don't come to us. He came in late, so you can't really blame him.
Right,
so,
yeah, and I honestly, I applaud him for the work that he's done with the transfer portal to try to help us out with getting some new players on the squad and stuff. So I know that some people were knocking him with the transfer portal stuff. I think that's him trying to – it's not that he's not trying to think for the long haul, but it's like I keep saying, if you win, everything else will take care of itself, just honestly. I mean, overall, I know there's this detail and this detail, but if you win, for the most part, everything takes care of itself. So he's trying to get us in a situation.
I'm really excited for 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing we might have a chance to get all the kids from Miami Palmetto, the two corners, the safety, and they're two other defensive linemen. Do you think the whole state of Miami thing can work today with Miami, like walling off Miami, like specifically Miami and like the whole state of Florida, like they used to do in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, or because of recruiting now, that won't work?
I don't think so. Some Miami fans might get mad at me for saying that. The problem is things are in college football in general are different now. So I don't really honestly think anymore. I don't think it would work for anybody. It's not even just Miami. I just don't think that it would work for any team anymore, just to be honest.
Like walling off a whole section, specifically just Miami. I'm saying like the West Palm Beach, South Florida. Do you think we should wall off that whole area and try to recruit the guys we want, or it won't work?
I still honestly just don't think that it would work. I could get into a big list of reasons why, and again, this is coming from a Miami Hurricanes fan, so you got to keep that in mind. But I don't think that in today's times
realistically it's not going to work.
Yeah, I just don't think that it would. No.
Yeah, and honestly, like I said, we can't blame Manny for not getting the recruits. Some of these kids that decommitted were committed because of Mark Richt. Why do you think they decommitted? Because of Mark Richt retiring. And Manny came in, like, when did Manny get hired again? Like, after New Year's, right? Or before, was it New Year's Eve or New Year's that he got hired?
Let me check the exact date, because I streamed that night, the night that he got hired. And somebody in chat may be able to fill us in. Looks like no, let's see. No, hold on. Let's see. Remember, I'm looking to see if anybody else remembers exactly the day. I'm not finding an exact day, but it was, I'm pretty sure, I thought it was early January. Maybe
yeah,
I'm wrong.
For me, I'm assuming it was New Year's or like January 7th or something like that, because I think we still haven't, our defensive staff, offensive staff wasn't hired till like late January, early like this month or whatever. So yeah, I think honestly the classes we need to focus on now are the 2020, 2021 classes, to be honest, because I would be happy if we get Christian Williams, to be honest, but realistically, I think he's going to go to Auburn. LSU. And do you think he's a starter day one, or do you think he would be? Does he have the Patrick Surtain, like Tyson Campbell type of talent where he can start day one, or do you think he would redshirt? He has to redshirt.
Are you in reference to Christian Williams?
Yes.
I think that he could potentially start day one with Miami. I'd have to look a little bit more to see who we have left at corner.
LSU,
currently.
I don't think he would start day one because they're deep at the defensive back in the defensive back area because they recruit top talent every year.
DBU. That's what all the LSU fans tell me. DBU. It's DBU.
Yeah, honestly. And realistically, I think he would have a better chance of starting day one if he has that type of talent at Miami, to be honest.
Right, and I think that does matter to some players. The thing is that every kid is different, their mindset and why they come to a school.
Is he from Alabama or is he from Louisiana?
Christian Williams is from Alabama.
Also, he's from like Hoover near. Is he near University of Alabama in Auburn and stuff like that, or where is he from?
Wherever Daphne, Alabama is. I don't know where that is, to be honest. But
that's near Alabama. That's near Tuscaloosa, I think.
Hey.
I think it's like a suburb of Tuscaloosa, but I'm not positive. If you have anyone in the chat from Alabama, ask them.
Yeah, they probably know. Yeah.
Yeah, and what do you think is going to happen with the whole do you think we're going to be able to I think we might be able to make a New Year's Six bowl, but the playoff is pushing it a little bit. So my prediction for the season is 11-2 or 11-1 11-2 or 12-2 because we can beat Florida. Realistically, you're talking so much trash that it would be funny that we not beat up on them, but we beat them in a close game. Maybe like 21-23 or something like that by a field goal or 2 points or something like that. And the rest of our whole schedule is winnable except for Florida. Florida's 50-50. And like I said, we lose to Clemson in a close game. And then we lose a New Year's Six Bowl to like a team like Georgia, Oklahoma, or like an SEC team who doesn't make the playoff and stuff like that.
It honestly is still too. And again, I'm always that guy. But it's still too early for me to say for sure. All I'll really say for now, and believe me, I will get into it after spring and stuff like that. I will most definitely make prediction videos and stuff like that.
So you think Peyton Matacha would sit? Do you think he doesn't? You're not saying he doesn't have the talent to start day one. You just realistically think he's one of those quarterbacks that might have to sit and stuff like that.
Right, yeah. I think that since Enos has had his eye on him for a while, it's someone that he really wants to have the time to fully develop. That way they can really give him the best opportunity possible. So I think that because of that and because of the current QB situation that we have, I think for those reasons and a few other little small reasons as well. I'm not saying that he's not necessarily good enough, but I do think that they would probably, and some people were saying in the chat as well, same thing, I think they could potentially redshirt him.
Yeah, and transfer, I think with the transfers, the quarterback that I realistically see transferring is Cade. I don't think he's going to stay.
Right, he's not. A lot of people get really mad at me for saying this. I don't have anything against Cade Weldon. I just, from the tape that I've personally seen, and it's limited, of course, but I just don't think that he's not a next level quarterback. He's not the guy that would lead us to a championship. He's like a
decent backup or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to offend people who are Cade Weldon fans, but realistically, I see him as a backup or like a starter at a lower school, like a lower level school like Duke or something like that, or
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Have a good rest of your day. Are you doing a signing day special, by the way?
I have to work all day tomorrow, but I will stream tomorrow night, and we'll go over some of the guys that we get and stuff. I've got some pretty fun stuff planned for tomorrow night.
Okay, have a good rest of your day, Coop.
Have a good one.
You're my favorite YouTube channel.
Hey, thank you for that, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. And Greg Bush, hey, I appreciate that, my man. Good working around Super Chat since YouTube is not letting us use it. I appreciate that $5 donation, Greg. And what's going on, Jason? Sean, we've got a lot of people showing up tonight. Appreciate the love, guys. Appreciate the love. So I think we'll take this call, and then we might wrap it up because we've been live for about an hour and a half. What's going on, Van? And it's a weekday, so I know a lot of you guys got to work. Looks like we've got a 904 on the line. Now, who do we have on the phone?
This is Amp Kane.
What's going on, man?
Hey, I just want to let people know, man, look, I'm not really big on the star ratings. Like Eric Reed said, he was a 2-star, and look at him now, Hall of Fame. So just want to let the Hurricane fans know, don't get too twisted in like these 4-star, 5-star players. Because it all boils down to what you have in your heart, how you play, how you practice.
Hey, I feel you, man. I'm actually going to do a video here pretty soon talking about if stars matter or not. And we're going to dive deep into it because you got a very good point.
Yeah, so I like what Manny Diaz is doing so far. I like the coaching hires and everything he's doing. So
yep,
just want to say go Canes, and I like what you're doing also, Coop. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate that, my man. Yeah, thanks for calling in. Is that everything you wanted to say? I hate cutting people off.
No, that's it, man.
Gotcha. All right. I appreciate you calling in, bro.
All right.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, I really don't know of anyone that's a Miami fan that's not pretty happy with what Manny's doing with the program right now, just to be honest. But I think we'll wrap up the calls for tonight. I hate to do it just over the crazy YouTube stuff, but apparently I've got a lot of work to do once I log off tonight to get all of this stuff figured out. So hopefully you guys, if you can, I might make a video saying, hey, can you guys help me out a little bit, comment on this video or something, because like I said, YouTube is trying to shut this channel down. I'm just giving you a quick heads up. I'm not going to talk bad about them. Okay, I'm not going to do that here. But people do not. When Miami starts getting good, or not good, we haven't proven anything yet. But what I'm saying is, when people start talking about Miami again, people love to hate on Miami, and the channel is getting flooded with. I'm not going to name any specific teams. I'm just saying some fans of other teams that are flooding the channel over here and flagging the videos to the point that YouTube has flagged the channel. And I'm not talking just a strike. They're talking about so I ain't gonna get into all that because you guys just need to worry about Miami Hurricanes football. But I just want to let you guys know I don't know what's going to happen over the next day or two. I don't want to go anywhere. So. We'll stream tomorrow as long as I'm able to, and we will hopefully celebrate a couple of big pulls, a couple of miracles. Like I said, maybe we'll pull a couple of rabbits out of some hats, man, and hopefully we'll have a decent day. It's one of those things, it is what it is. I'm not expecting to go from 32 to #1 in the country. Let's be realistic here. But there's a couple of big names that could potentially. There's a couple of names we're gonna see, but I appreciate you guys showing me some love tonight and hanging out even with all the craziness going on. We had almost 200 people in here at one point. That's crazy. I wanted to take more phone calls, but things got a little bit hectic with all that stuff. So I will stream tomorrow night as long as YouTube lets me, and we'll talk about the recruits that we do get. So I love my Miami Hurricanes family, my college football family. Appreciate all the support you guys show me day in and day out. We'll be back tomorrow night. And, yeah, sorry about all the kind of craziness in my head. A lot of stuff going on right now. So, appreciate it, guys. Appreciate all the callers tonight. I do want to thank everyone who donated and subscribed tonight. We've got a couple of new family members. Hurricane C. Wilbert Rome, DJ donated $1.99. Terry King donated. Bobby Brewer, Ripping Carbine, Don Calderlo. I may be saying it wrong. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, man. Uncle Lou donated $10 tonight. We had new subs, Keaton and G Nation, and Greg Bush dropped $5 as well. So thank you for those donations and those subs, guys. Keep your fingers crossed tomorrow. I'll be tweeting and posting on Instagram and stuff. I will be at work. We'll see what we can do while we're at work to, talk about this a little bit. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll play an outro screen while we file out. Again, we'll make these streams bigger, better, longer. For now, though, guys, you already know. I don't even have to say, you already know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. Peace out.